Have you ever felt like you're on this unending mission impossible to find a new job this year? Well, even the pros out there are feeling the struggle nowadays.
Professional resume, athletic and special skills resume, and Dwight Schrute trivia.
But did you ever wonder why exactly it's such an ordeal task to even get a moderate job even in 2024?
How would I describe myself? 3 words. Hardworking, alpha male, jackhammer.
Well, it turned out that unemployment hit a rock-bottom low of 3.4% in January 2023, the lowest it's been in 54 years. And to top it off, U.S. employers welcomed 2.7 million new faces to their payrolls in 2023 alone. The January Jobs Report 2024 started off pretty well, showing the labor market was still going strong.
In the hard data, it seems to suggest that the labor market has been fairly strong and, in fact, surprisingly resilient.
It's funny, though, cause when we look into the hard numbers, the labor market looks like a superhero, defying all odds with its resilience. After a year filled with depressing headlines about layoffs and recession fears, the data suggests things are actually going pretty well. Amidst claims by politicians about the robustness of the economy, many individuals are struggling to find employment, highlighting a disconnect between the official narrative and the lived reality of job seekers.
Politicians just talking about how the economy is so great. I just want to scream from the rooftops. Then how come no one can find a job?
Despite reports of a strong labor market, many unemployed full-time workers are finding it increasingly difficult to secure new positions. On average, these individuals are applying to 30 jobs and receiving only 4 callbacks or responses, indicating a challenging job search environment. While job vacancies have seen a slight decrease, the drop has not been significant enough to fully explain the difficulties in finding employment. This raises questions about the effort being made by employers to fill these positions. Reports suggest that employers may not be as actively engaged in filling vacancies as they could be, contributing to the frustration experienced by job seekers. The discrepancy between the perceived strength of the U.S. labor market and the actual experiences of those looking for work suggests that the issue is multifaceted. Factors such as mismatched skills, geographic disparities, and possibly even employer practices could be playing a role in making it feel so hard to get a job right now. Despite the positive economic indicators, the challenges faced by many in finding employment reveal that the strength of the labor market may also not be as solid as it appears on the surface. For example, Jenna Jackson, a resident of Ardmore, Pennsylvania, located in the suburbs of Philadelphia, finds herself amidst one of the most challenging job markets she has ever experienced. Her job search journey, although unquantified, has seen her submit hundreds of applications, leading to significant frustration.
This job market is like the craziest that I have ever seen.
I was frustrated just with how my job search process has been going.
Her experience is echoed by statistics showing that 55% of unemployed adults report burnout from job searching, with younger generations being the most affected at 66%. The process of looking for a job, often compared to a full-time job itself, involves tedious and time-consuming application processes that can be highly stressful. Data reveals that the odds of securing a job through job boards stand at a mere 3%, necessitating numerous applications to improve one's chances. This process inevitably results in a barrage of non-responses, contributing to the exhaustion and frustration of job seekers. A 2023 Glassdoor study highlighted a significant increase in mentions of applicants being ghosted by prospective employers since the COVID-19 pandemic. This lack of response from employers, despite the efforts and time invested by applicants, adds to the emotional and mental strain of the job search. The rise of technology has made it easier for employers to post jobs, leading to an overwhelming response that can make it difficult for companies to respond to every candidate. During the Great Resignation, companies experienced ghosting from candidates as well, a relatively new phenomenon driven by the sheer volume of applications. The time it takes for companies to hire has also increased, with an average of 44 days in the first quarter of 2023, and sectors like energy and defense taking even longer. Jenna's worst experience involved a large financial institution where she went through multiple rounds of interviews and assessments, including a phone screen, a Zoom interview, and a case study with vague instructions. After being asked to revise her case study, Jenna decided to withdraw from the process, realizing that even if she succeeded, there were still 3 more interviews ahead. She believes that excessive interviews are not beneficial, as most questions asked during these interviews do not effectively determine a candidate's suitability. This trend of prolonged and ineffective hiring processes is not new and persists even in stronger labor markets. It represents a significant challenge for both job seekers and employers, highlighting the need for more efficient and meaningful hiring practices. Jenna Jackson's experience is a testament to the evolving and often frustrating landscape of job searching in today's market.
This has been getting longer and longer with going through multiple rounds.
Now, if we talk about the job market, there are generally 2 terms economists use to explain the job market right now: tight and loose. Usually when economists talk about a tight labor market, they mean hot, essentially. Mostly what that means is it is difficult for employers to find workers. In that context, employers tend to be more hesitant to lay off workers. They try to be more aggressive about how they hire, whether that means offering bonuses or on-the-job training. By contrast, a loose labor market or cold labor market is one where there might be layoffs or hiring freezes. It might be difficult for workers to find a job, whether they are already in the workforce or entering it for the first time. The American labor market has remained extremely tight following the end of the pandemic. Many companies had to scale back during the pandemic.
So many companies had to scale back during the pandemic.
And then all at once, companies were able to hire again as their businesses started to move. This led to many job openings happening simultaneously. Job openings surged to historic highs while the country continued to struggle from a devastating labor shortage. With so many plentiful job prospects, even working Americans quit their jobs at a record pace for new jobs, in a trend known as the Great Resignation. However, the job market is beginning to show signs of cooling. One interesting aspect of the job market right now is that it is strong, but the hiring rate is low. Similarly, the layoff rate is actually very low. The layoff and discharge rate in the US has been hovering near historic lows, despite the barrage of layoffs reported specifically within the more visible tech and media sectors. Employers are hesitant to lay off workers due to their recent experience with labor shortages. On the other side, this means many workers are sitting tight. They're not quitting or being laid off, reducing the opportunities normally expected from attrition for those trying to break into roles. Research from LinkedIn found that job seekers' search intensity in the US grew by 27% in 2023 compared to the year before. In 2022, there was 1 open job for every active applicant on the LinkedIn platform. By 2023, the ratio turned to 1 job for every 2 active applicants. Currently, both employers and employees are being more selective, taking a more measured approach in their choices, leading to a cooling in the marketplace. Experts reassure that the cooling labor market is no reason for concern, and yet it is important to have a historical perspective. If you're hunting for a job right now and can't find one, it may seem like a lousy job market. However, compared to your parents' experience, it is a great job market. Sentiment is outcomes minus expectations. In 2021 and 2022, there were labor shortages and companies were hiring very aggressively. Even if 2024 shapes up to be a relatively healthy labor market, it might not feel as strong. A cool down in the labor market was also what the Federal Reserve intended with its series of interest rate hikes. To slow the economy, the Federal Reserve aims to slow the markets, including the labor market, which is a significant part of employers' budgets. The health of the labor market will largely depend on where the economy is headed next. If the economy slows down more significantly in 2024, or if a recession occurs, the labor market can be somewhat resilient, but not completely immune to broader economic trends. This is something to watch out for in 2024. Broadly speaking, there might be some optimism about the economy, but that doesn't necessarily mean the job search is an easy process. It's important to remember that the difficulties in the job market are not personal. They are affecting thousands of people simultaneously due to broader economic factors and quirks in how employers handle hiring these days. It's definitely difficult out there, but it is crucial not to give up. Stay tuned for more job hunting updates, and don't forget to hit the subscription button and let us know about your thoughts in the comments section below.